So do you want to get? Should we go into a review?
Should we do an Anomalisa review?
Anomalisa
Blah.
And just as a plug, we now have an interview with Charlie Kaufman and
Duke Johnson. So the directors and screenwriter of the film. So we have that, me babbling on for about 13 minutes.
It's wonderful.
That's a big deal for you as well, isn't it?
It's
I tried to play it down.
No, you did. No, that's the thing. That's what I said to you as soon as I saw it. I was really impressed because I thought I know how much you like Charlie Kaufman, and I thought like if I was interviewing Matthew Vaughn, it would just be me in a puddle of my own urine,
going squeals and stuff.
Whenever it came to a question, but you actually were like really cool. You almost like I don't need to be here. You're on my time, Charlie Kaufman.
There's no fanboying at all. It's very impressive.
That's good.
You did really well.
That's because it's I cut out all the stuttering between and the kind of thank you.
It's seamless.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Read my screenplay.
That's why I should have got out the backpack and handed over notes of just tatters.
It's called being Charlie Kaufman.
We got to see it for there was a Q&A screening at the Curzon.
There was.
So it's kind of like a special preview because it only comes out in the UK I think March 11th.
That is, yeah.
So this is kind of it's an early review as well. But it's a kind of hard film to describe in that it's a small scale stop motion animation film about a guy called Michael Stone who's a motivational speaker, and he's kind of just lost kind of not will to live, but he's lost his excitement with the world, and now on a business trip he bumps into Lisa, and it's kind of their relationship over that business trip.
Yeah, it's kind of. I feel like we shouldn't say any more than that. There are some kind of more significant story elements that kind of come into it as it goes on. But that's the very basic. I mean, it sounds very basic, but it's still very Charlie Kaufman.
Yeah,
it
it's
goes
definitely
into some strange places.
I think you said like coming right out of it, it's his most accessible film.
Definitely.
And it's not like if you've seen any of his other work, it's not jumping around in time or anything like that. It's very straightforward.
It's not as quirky as something like Being John Malkovich or Eternal Sunshine, but I think it's still just as good. It's just as deep, just as interesting.
Yeah. And it's if anything, it just feels like more refined almost in a way, in that it feels like he's kind of done the quirks early, and now they're kind of bringing it down, but at the same time, it's still got all the same themes and everything, but he's just not using all the grandeur of everything. But I also like that it's so simplistic, even though it's animation in a way, in that. So I suppose you kind of see all these animated films now, like Laika and. So they did like Paranorman and the Box Trolls and everything. So you can do anything with animation, and yet it's so simple. And again, like this thing that you kind of said coming out is that it's how natural everything moves.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the attention to detail is insane. There were moments where, particularly in close-ups, where it could have very easily been humans doing the same thing, and you wouldn't tell the difference.
And I thought it was impressive that it's like you think. With another film like that, they'd like film actors doing it or something like that, but it's not. It's just the animators having the time to do that, and it's
exactly. Yeah.
I think if you're a fan of animation at all, even if it doesn't sound like your kind of film, it's worth seeing it just to see the quality of the animation.
A lot of people seem to be like, oh, it's just some like really serious animated film, but it's not. It doesn't feel like a classical animated film at all. It feels so drastically different, as you're saying, and it's so like it's an entirely different world almost. And it's a world that I know this is kind of almost the one downside to the film that we both seem to say the second the film ended was we wish we could have been in that world a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Because it does end quite suddenly.
Yeah, it's not that it's not like we just wish there was more to the film, that it does end quite quickly, doesn't it? And that's agree. Yeah, there's the kind of universal dislike that we both.
It kind of feels like that's the point of it almost, because it does everything in the film kind of does have a deeper level to it, and it's almost kind of that makes sense why it kind of ends that quickly. But at the same time, it's like I just really wish for entertainment factor that it had, because I was enjoying it so much. Like
a bit more, not a more satisfying ending, but just more of an ending, like more to it, basically. Yeah. But I think we both ended up. I liked it just as much as I expected to like it.
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't.
It's the same problem as I had with The Revenant. I knew it was going to be really, really good, so I expected it to be really good. And when it turned out to be really, really good, I wasn't that surprised. So I kind of came out, rather than jumping for joy, I was like, that was exactly as I expected it to be. But that shouldn't be kind of anything against it, because it is still an amazing film. Like, I honestly don't think I can think of anything wrong with it, really. I mean, it did end quite quickly, but that kind of feels part of it.
Again, it feels like, yeah, but it sounds stupid to kind of go like, oh, but maybe we just don't understand the film, and that's why it's like that. But I think that it's a justified thing to say that if we thought it ended a bit too quickly.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of... Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a completely flawless film, but I'd say that it's one that you can definitely enjoy, and it's one that, like you said, you can kind of get into it. Like, it's kind of like a world in that you can enjoy just the world of the film for while it's there, and then that's good.
It also, I won't go into too much detail about this, but it has arguably the best puppet sex scene outside of Team America.
I really enjoyed it, and I was toying between an 8 or a 9 out of 10 when I came out of it, but I think it's a 9.
I'm going with a 9, yeah. It was always and it's definitely up there with Charlie Kaufman's best work as well.
Yeah, and it's consistent, which really
very
the rest of his stuff, and that's what I was just happy for. I just could kind of wait so long for another film, and then if it was a drop, I think I would have. I don't know. Disheartening. But
they put so much effort into it as well.
Yeah.
Like, everyone in this film cares about making it, and it's just it's a great film.
Yeah.
There you go, Anomalisa.
Cool.
Sorted.